The Rocking Al Show.
How to become a high performer.
Here are the top 5 characteristics of high performers. Number 1, continuous improvement. 50% of high performers say they need at least a monthly sit-down with their managers to discuss their performance. Continuous feedback for high performers means an opportunity to get better, and they value detailed information about their work so they can perform even better. Number 2, willingness to learn and develop. High performers have a strong tendency to direct their own learning. They find self-development as a high priority and always look for different training programs and courses to enhance their careers. Number 3, being proactive. Being proactive means change-oriented and self-initiated, acting in advance of a future event. High performers don't wait for something to happen. They make it happen by creating opportunities. Furthermore, they are productive about their time and work. Another important characteristic of being proactive is having a positive attitude to look for the best in every situation. Number 4, being productive. High performers are highly productive and deliver 400% more productivity than the average performer. By implementing the mindset of getting things done, they choose working on high-impact projects, consistently learning and willing to be the best they can be. And number 5, emotional intelligence. 90% of the top performers have high emotional intelligence. High performers are emotionally stable and consistent in their style of working and leadership. Furthermore, they learn quickly and are great problem solvers that helps them in achieving great outcomes. Here are 5 more characteristics of high performers.
Number 1, they give up social media, unless they're selling on it. Number 2, they work at a standing desk. Everybody understand a standing desk? Standing desk. Number 3, they have a treadmill under the desk, and it goes at 4 kilometers an hour. 4 kilometers seems to be the maximum where you can still work and do a standing desk. Number 4, they work out 3 to 5 times a week between 30 and 60 minutes a day. Not for 6-packs, not for 4 or 7 or 8% body fat, but just to be generally fit. And last but not least, they eat healthy. That means different things to different people. Doesn't mean vegan, doesn't mean vegetarian. Some just eat meat.
What is your definition of a high-performance person?
Being all that you can be every day. 24/7, 365, being all you can be.
If we would like to improve the quality of our lives, personally and professionally, what would be your advice?
Well, the most important thing is self-esteem. The people that we read about, the people that we admire, the Elon Musks, the Steve Jobs, the Warren Buffetts, etc., all have one thing in common. They have extremely high self-esteem. And of course, you've heard me say this before, self-esteem is built the first 7 or 8 years of life. But to build high self-esteem, and the way you build high self-esteem, if you're 25, 35, or 45, is to be around, surround yourself with other people that have high self-esteem. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And so you can reverse your childhood by who you associate with. My father said, if you've got something in your mind, it should come out of your lips. If you've got something in your mind, it should come out your mouth, Dan. And God knows, I took it to heart, and I've lived that way all my life, okay? Don't raise your hand now. How many of you would like to have your kids grow up just like your parents? You know the answer, don't you? Close to 0. Because they were shitty role models. Now, I'm not going to ask the second question. How many of you would like your kids to grow up and be like you? Allah forbid. God forbid. But being a high-performance person is a full-time job. Michael's known me over 20 years. I'm like this when I wake up in the morning to brush my teeth. I'm like this when I brush my teeth before I go to sleep. I'm like this 24/7, 365, and I've been like this for the better part of 50 years. I'm always like this. I'm always pushing the edge of the envelope. And that's why, I'm an overnight success. I've been coaching 25 and a half years, but all of a sudden I'm popular as hell, but I've been doing this for 50 years. I have the same habits today as I had 50 years ago. The exact same habits. But they're just ingrained in me. They're ingrained in me. And for those of you that have never been around the high performance people like I just alluded to, the Warren Buffetts, Elon Musk, God rest his soul, Steve Jobs, who I happen to have known, they were like this 24/7, 365. It wasn't an act. I was doing some research for my talk, and I looked up Heineken. Gerard Heineken, who was the founder of Heineken beer in 1864, he talked his rich mother. Heineken's come from a wealthy family even before the beer. He talked his mother into buying a brewery in 1864, which they then turned into Heineken. Gerard was a hard ass, tough as nails. Now, I didn't know him, I'm not that old, but I did know Freddie Heineken, the old man, and he was hard ball buster. Now, I don't know his daughter, the current CEO of Heineken, but I'm told she's a ball buster. I did know Steve Jobs. I do know Elon Musk. I do know Warren Buffett. I do know, and they're all ball busters. Success leaves clues, kids. I just named 5 of the greatest names in business in the last 150 years. And they all have one thing in common. They're ball busters. They're hard as fucking nails. Where does that leave you? The last thing, or the 6th thing, is they make all their employees, their family, their wife, their kids, their parents, accountable. Mom, is this an important call? I'll talk to you over the weekend. Thanks, Mom. Click. Dad, are you in the hospital with a heart attack? It's not, okay, I'll call you over the weekend. Click. Our children have to call with one of my 4 assistants to make an appointment with me to get me on the phone.
I hope you found this podcast informative. If you have any comments about this or the other episodes, please comment where available or send them to the Rocky Nell Show at rockynellentertainment.ca. I'll be looking forward to reading them. You can also hear the podcast from other apps. Go to www.rock103.ca/apps, where you can download your favorite apps to your devices. Until next time, goodbye, everybody. The Rocky Nell Show.